Good morning. I'll play on my single player game today. Unless all of a sudden somebody wants to join online, then I'll switch to the server. Yep, it's Monday. My truck blew up. Okay, it didn't actually blow up. So my rental, my backup truck, broke down. The DEF hose is leaking DEF like crazy. Hey RGTV. So last night I was supposed to go drive down to Castlegar, well, trail area. So I started driving and got about 45 minutes out of town, away from home, and all of a sudden my dashboard lights up like a New Year's party, DEF related, and so I stopped, looked at my gauges and everything. I'm like, that DEF gauge is going down really fast. I'm like, that's not normal. I'll stop in Oliver and fill up. Everything's still flashing. Just did some research online and said that trucks can get derated within an hour. Could anyway get derated within an hour. I'm like, yep, I'm going to let dispatch know. I'm turning around and going back because there's no shop nearby. Or going forward. There's no shop going forward. So let's turn around, bring it back to the shop at home. Got back home last night, relaxed a little bit. Today morning I got up in the morning, drove to the shop, sat there for a while before they did their diagnostics, and yep, DEF hose is leaking. They don't have a new one in stock, so I am down at least for the day. And unless they get it fixed first thing tomorrow morning, I might be down tomorrow too. So my payday's not gonna like that, but I might as well do a stream. Broken down for how long? Well, they're saying at least for today. If they can get the part in overnight, they might be able to fix my backup truck by tomorrow morning. How my actual truck that I blew the head gasket on is, I don't know, but they said sometime in the new year, so I'll probably check next week to see how it's going when I can get my green mean machine back instead of this white Peterbilt I'm running right now. So I need a backup to my backup, which we do have. Whoa, that was quite the maneuver that plane did. Dispatch said, goes, I could get you a truck, but there's going to be a big snowstorm up there, so by the time we get you the truck with the snowstorm, this truck might be fixed by then, so there's not much of a point. I'm like, I agree, I'm walking home. The shop is 1.8 kilometers away from home. I'm like, nope, I'm just going to walk home, take the day off. No point in trying to do all those aerobatics with other trucks and try to get me on the road when it's not going to actually make me or Sutco money. Yeah, there's a huge snowstorm warning. Yeah, they're supposed to get, even in the Okanagan, we're supposed to get 20 to 30 centimeters of snow. So, I thought I lifted this. Apparently I didn't lift it. Yeah, you know what? Most of the problems in trucks, most of the reason the trucks are in the shop is DEF. DEF is definitely it has a long way to go before it saves the planet. You heard the Dakotas and Wisconsin got hammered with a snowstorm. Yeah, there's a lot of snowstorms going through right now. Almost like it's winter. So maybe it's a blessing to be broken down. I took this little grass patch back here and plowed it and attached it to my field. Now this is a big bud. That is a big tractor. Alright, let's get GPS lined up here. It's just a little strip that you have overlap. Get that little bit done. Once again, I've combined fields. So right now I own field 2, 21, 22, and 23. I've combined these 3 fields, and plus this little piece of land up here. I bought that little piece up there. And I've also bought 8 and 7, which I haven't started working on yet. I plan on making 8, 7, 6, and 5 into one huge field. But right now I'm just buying the cheapest field there are. I have $1.7 million of that. So I probably shouldn't buy any more fields because the interest rate's gonna kill me at night. Let's get some yield out of this first. Did they ever make Welker a 4K map? I'm not sure what a 4K map is. Like a much bigger map? No, I don't think so. I don't think they've made that map. And this is kind of my single player map that I play every now and then when I'm not streaming. But hey, today I felt like playing this and I'm home, so I might as well stream. Unless somebody else wants to join in game. In that case, I'll switch to the other map. Yeah, this is the stock map. I didn't know they were talking about a 4K map, but I don't really pay that much attention. It is seasons ready. How'd you hurt your eye? so, so, it's not really funny. Jess is recovering from an eye injury, and she wasn't expecting me to come back home. So, when I opened the door pretty aggressively, I woke her up in a bit of a heart attack, and she banged her eye. So her eye is literally crying away right now. I'm sorry, I know it's not funny. Basically re-injured her eye. Why am I not lifting this thing? Oh, I'm on the wrong tool. I'm like, See? RGTV thinks it's funny. She's like, the fire alarm's going off. It's like, what? Oh yeah, right. They're going to do a test today. I didn't really care because I wasn't going to be home. Yeah, they were supposed to test it at 9 a.m. It's 9:45, so. As long as I actually didn't actually re injure her eye and just poked it or whatever, it'll, hopefully Farmer Joe will be okay. I definitely startled her in the morning. It's like, who's coming in the house? It's like, who's breaking in? She goes, I require a text or call in the future. I didn't want to wake you up. Next time I have to sneak in a little more quiet. RGTV, I'll try to give you the other gift card tomorrow. I'm just trying to spread everything out so my credit card doesn't have a heart attack again. Your experience laughing the same day normally gets you in trouble. I get in trouble all the time. What kind of engine this thing runs? Because it's just huge. Does it say what kind of engine it runs? Does not say. Yeah, there's a lot of snow in the forecast, so this whole week is supposed to be a lot of snow, so it should be interesting. Fire alarm's off. We've been saved. I'm like, what if there's a real fire at that day, at that time? I guess if the fire alarm keeps going unusually long, it's like, wait, what's going on? Maybe check into it. And apartments fires are so scary, right? It's like, just has to be one dumb person in the building that does something stupid and can burn the whole apartment down, right? So, and we've had that before where it's like fire alarm. It's like, okay, getting dressed. I'm like, just get these things ready. I'm gonna go for a walk and see if this is a real deal or someone pulled the fire alarm. Walk out. It used to be a fire alarm. Sometimes there were fire alarms set off. That hasn't happened in a long time. That was really annoying when someone would just keep setting off the fire alarm in the middle of the night. But the one time it's like, okay, probably just someone set off the fire alarm, go for a walk. I'm like, oh, there's smoke. Okay, run back. Grab our safe. Grab our IDs. Grab the hard drives out of the computers, and then out. And luckily the fire department came over right away and got it under control immediately, so It was okay. Oh no! It's like, everybody back in! Everybody back in! RGTV said that they had a fire drill in school, 8th grade. Just as everybody got outside, the tornado sirens went off. It's like, forget the fire! Back into the fire! Quarter-mile away from school. Yeah, crazy. Um, yeah, I've had my experience with tornadoes in Manitoba. My cousins had the closest call. I remember my cousin was sitting outside on the doghouse, and the weather's getting pretty nasty, so it's like, come in! Doghouse was, I don't know, maybe 100 meters away from the house, give or take. And got my cousin in. I wasn't there, but they got my cousin in. Hailstorm hit. Hail balls, baseball size, not softball, baseball size hail. My aunt put a couple in the freezer. Shattered a bunch of windows on their house, destroyed the roof, the shingling, and then the tornado came through and the doghouse disappeared. They never found the doghouse again. In the backyard, some of the trees disappeared, stuff like that. It's like, yep, came in just in time. And luckily the tornado went through, they had a huge backyard, went through the backyard instead of over the houses. Destroyed a bunch of trees, but everybody was okay. I've chased 2 tornadoes in my life. That was fun. Hey, Dylan. Yes. Yes, me being here on Monday means that my backup truck is broken down. NOA down here. Used to buy large hailstorms to study them. Cool. What's that? Oh, safety meeting today at 11. Oh yeah, I can still do that. I can still do the safety meeting, so in an hour I've got a safety meeting. What's that sound effect? It sounded like water. That was weird. Maybe that was just the plane flying over. I don't know where the plane is. Could have been the plane flying over. Maybe it was this sound mixed in with the plane flying over. I need to get the bigger seeder. This tractor would have no problem pulling it. But I have enough debt as it is. We'll wait till I'm out of debt. Or at least lower debt. How'd you get arrested if you were there with permission? Did you get charged though? Or were you just detained? Yeah, I've done some dumb things too chasing it. Chasing a tornado is a dumb thing, especially when I was doing it. I had no experience, no idea what a tornado would do. Hadn't studied up on any kind of tornado chasing at all. I'm just gonna follow this tornado. This is a good idea. And it turned out fine. It was beautiful. It was an awesome experience. But it sure was dangerous. Not knowing that, hey, that thing could turn around and come at me at any second. Or so they detained you, read you your rights, so that way they could question you, and you decided that your right to remain silent was not in your favor, so gave them your boss's phone number and stuff. They can call the boss and go, hey, yes, he is working and he has the right to be here. Like some of the guys that do the Fifth Amendment test, you know, sometimes not using all of your rights is in your advantage. Sometimes remaining silent is not in your advantage. Oh, they still took you to jail though, huh? And then you had to fight to get it off your record because you did nothing wrong. That's obnoxious. What's the riddle for the day? You've been fingerprinted at a jail before but never arrested. I think that's not a riddle. I'd say it's a school field trip. No, because I think I've been fingerprinted at a jail, or not at a police station before. Not a jail. I guess that was a jail. Because for me it was a school field trip. Really good little scam. Get everybody in school fingerprinted because it's cool. Yay! I want my fingerprints. There goes the idea of being a criminal in future. There goes that career option. Not a school field trip. I don't know then. Don't. That was my dream job, to be a criminal, and then they fingerprinted me. I guess that ended that career option. Okay, why'd you get fingerprinted? Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, when she became a Canadian citizen, she had to get fingerprinted. Right. One of the steps to becoming a Canadian. Fingerprinted so you can't become a criminal. I mean, you can, but at least they can catch you. Yeah, it's unfair because sometimes customs ask you, have you ever been fingerprinted? That's a sneaky question. Because if you've been fingerprinted, you've likely been charged for a crime. I always go, yeah, school field trip. Just like the DNA for ancestry. Uh-huh. Over 30 family relatives have been arrested. Because just some more wanted to know if they were related to royalty or something. It's like, if your family is in the crime business, don't send in your DNA. Huh. You've had jobs where you had to be fingerprinted. Oh, that's interesting. Just for passing the higher security type of thing, right? Hi. I've got to get drug tested all the time. Yeah, once a year now. To run in the U.S., we have to be drug tested once a year. That's why trucking industry has a huge problem with cocaine, because cocaine gets out of your system so quick. And they usually tell you you're going to have a drug test a week ahead of time, so cocaine is a serious issue with the trucking industry. Oh yeah, post office and security to work on federal tower locations. Yeah, makes sense. I was talking to some truck drivers that deliver into military bases, and they have to get special advanced security as well. That'd be one of those things I'd have no problem passing. I am so by the book. Any tickets or warnings I've ever gotten have all been because I made a mistake. Never on purpose I did something stupid. All the things I've done stupid is because I was uneducated or made a mistake. That's not true. I did get a speeding ticket when I was younger. That was totally my fault in being dumb. Having said that, the speeding ticket I got, I think it was a 60 or 70 zone. I was speeding up to 100, which I knew was coming right around the corner. So I was speeding up to the speed limit a little too early, that's all. My latest one was not securing my tarps on my load. I loaded at Castlegar. Tarps were sitting on the deck. I forgot to throw a strap over the tarps. There's 4 tarps sitting on the deck with no strap, just sitting loose on the deck. And Castlegar has a scale, so I literally drove down the road and they pulled me over. Gave me a written warning type of ticket. No, I didn't have to pay anything, but that was dumb. If it had been a ticket, it would have been, what, 200 and some bucks or something like that. The ticket would have still been a lot cheaper than losing $3,000 worth of tarps down the highway. So I guess a ticket would have still been better. Oh, I saw something scary last week. Driving to Vancouver. So when would that have been? Thursday. I'll go with Thursday. Thursday, driving to Vancouver between Headley and Princeton. There was a set of dualies with a drum and everything still attached. You could see these lines in the ditch and hit a farmer's fence post and took a couple of fence posts out. And it's like somebody driving down the highway is missing their tires. And the fact that they were still sitting there and there was no trailers anywhere parked anywhere means he probably didn't even know that the wheels fell off his trailer. Probably kept driving. If it was like a Super Bee and the center axle fell out like that, you probably wouldn't even know until you do your next brake check or something like that. I've had a couple of tickets. One was the speeding ticket. Another one was four in a cab. That was when I first got my drivers. Literally the first year I had my drivers. And that was my dad's idea. So it's his dang fault. Trying to think. I got a speeding ticket in Calgary, one of those photo speeding tickets where I have video proof that there was no sign that the construction speed was lower, but it wasn't worth going to court to fight it because it would be more expensive to go to court and fight it than just to pay for it. Oh, I got a parking ticket in California. Yeah. That one I could have fought too, yeah. And I think that's it. Maybe 4 tickets in my lifetime. Eventually I'll get a ticket for trucking. It's just a matter of time. Eventually I'll make a mistake or I will have not found something on my pre-trip that will be ticketable type of thing. It'll happen eventually, someday. But so far, 2.5 years, no ticket yet. I'm happy with that. You had a set of dualies come over the medium wall and just miss you on your motorcycle about 7 years ago. Yeah, that would scare the living crap out of me too. Holy smokes. Yeah, I've seen some YouTube videos of what a single tire can do. Imagine a dual flying. Oh, it would just, like on a motorcycle, you're dead. You're literally dead. There's no surviving that. In a car, it would destroy a car. You could kill you in a car. You had to stop just to calm down, get the adrenaline rush out of you, the shakes out. Yep, I believe that. Yeah, what was it? 2 winters? 2 winters ago? No, last winter. Last winter I had a single tire come flying past me. That's when I hit the ditch because of black ice. I didn't know there was black ice, but I knew when I hit the ditch. Hit the ditch, kept the truck under control, kept driving it until I was stopped, and did no damage to the truck, parked it between some trees. But I'm just like, oh, there's only a foot of snow here. I can probably chain up and get out of here. So I'm like, jumped out, started threw my first chain over the tires. I heard this bang. Looked around and here comes a tire just flying at me. I ran around on the front of the truck and here comes a tire. It would have missed me, but it came zipping past me. It's like, whoa! 2 big rigs, also not knowing it was black ice, smashed. It was like a head-on, but they didn't hit head-on. They hit on their sides. So the cabs of the truck missed, and then they did a big hip check against each other. Um, One of them jackknifed and into the ditch, head-on collision into the cliff, cut his head pretty badly, and the other guy just, well, brand new truck, destroyed the whole side of the trailer, destroyed the side of the truck, blew all the bunch of tires and stuff like that. But yeah, that one tire came zipping past me, another tire went further away. It's like, yep, there was tires and parts flying everywhere. It's like, fire department showed up and they call it the $1 million corner. And it's like, yep. They just go, we respond to this corner all the time. When they built the corner, they angled it wrong so that when the road is slippery, it forces you off the road. Buddy got hit by Kansas DOT. 3,500 miles on a brand new truck. Had 4 violations. Yes, that's something I found out when I got my brand new trailers. Everybody's like, brand new trailers don't even have to do your pre-trip. I'm like, no. I have found so many things wrong with this brand new trailer. Definitely need to do your pre-trip on brand new trailers and new trucks. So, yeah, do your pre-trips. Because when I got the trailers brand new, we had 2 of the hubs had water in it. Found that out pretty quick. A lot of the brake pod, the nuts on the slack adjuster, I'm not sure what they're called, but they all were loose and backing off. Hadn't torqued those properly. A couple of air fittings, they had never torqued those down. So new vehicles have a lot of torque issues. A lot of bolts and nuts that haven't been torqued down. Yeah, 2 brake chambers that were not working. Yep. Yeah, new vehicles often have critical issues, so it's actually really important to do pre-trips on new vehicles. It's actually once you've been running a vehicle and it's broken in, it's actually less important to do your pre-trips. You still have to do them, but it's less critical because now you know the vehicle, you know the issues, you know how your brakes and your tires and everything is. But new vehicles have a lot of torque issues. Also, stuff like landing gear and brake pods can fail. Oh, come on. Yeah, if I was pulled over right now by DOT, they would get me for 2 things. Cracked windshield. Oh, really? Come on. They'd get me for a cracked windshield, but there's no point of replacing that until spring. Oh, it's a rental vehicle anyway, so the rental company will probably charge Sutco for cracked windshield, even though it's got nothing to do with my fault. But it's winter. There's sand and gravel all over the road. And the other thing is my ABS light on the front trailer keeps tripping on. So that depends on the day. I might get a fix it. Yeah, both of those are going to be fix-it tickets, not out of service. And I have a small air leak on one of the glad hands that I'm having a struggle keeping from leaking. I'm going to have to just replace one of the hoses if it keeps doing it. So I know there's a couple of defects on it right now. My brakes are all good, my tires are all good. Well, when I had the loose tarps, they put me out of service for that too. It was just a written warning, and then they said, you're out of service until your tarps are strapped down. So it's actually considered an out of service because the load was insecure. All I have to do is throw one strap over it, and they go, look, yep, you got a strap over it. I actually threw the strap over it before I went into the scale, because I knew what was wrong with my truck before I parked it. Because they stopped me on the scale, he jumped out of the office and walked up to my trailers, reached between the bridge, and then went back in there, and the red light came on, park it. It's like, as soon as he reached over at the bridge, I'm like, oh no, I think I know what he found. Parked it, and I'm like, looked out there, I'm like, yep. I grabbed the strap, threw it over there, strapped it down, and walked in. And he just goes, well, since it's already strapped down, the ticket says you're out of service till it's strapped down, but you're good to go. Sunflower. Okay, where's my list of prices? Prices. Where's my list? There it is. Okay, sunflower. No, that's a bad price. Okay, we're not going to sell that. Let's bring it in and store it. So some other services can be fixed very easily. Other ones are not so easy to fix. I know the one time I did there's one scale that's in Kamloops where you come in for a brake check and then you have to go over the scale right after the brake check. So the brake check and scale are together. So pulled in, did my brake check, walked around and thumped all the tires. You do the load secure and all that right away too. And sure enough, I had a flat tire. So I walked up to the scale house and go, hey, I've got a flat tire. Cal Tire's on the way to repair it. Can I just pull over the scale here and get in the backyard here for Cal Tire to fix it without you guys giving me a ticket? He goes, nope, that means you're doing your job. Go ahead, no problem. Pull around. You won't get a ticket. Okay. Pulled around and got it fixed, and off I went. I'm thinking, I've never dropped grain here yet. It'd be easier if I did it the other way. Yeah, I've sent you one. You've got half your money. 'Cause you were the grand big huge you won the $200, so you got half of your money. I think next time I do the giveaway, I'm going to go to the store and just buy a bunch of physical gift cards and just give out the codes. Just message you guys with the codes. And that way my credit card won't have a heart attack. And Steam won't hate me. What? The back one. I'm dropping grain all over the ground. Apparently the drop window trigger point is much bigger than the physical location. Yeah, that's easier. If I go around that way, that works pretty easy. I like that. You smoked 3 hogs? How many people did you have coming over? Must be a big family gathering. Eight pork loins and 6 shoulders tonight? Wow. It's a lot of bacon. You had 80 plus. Wow. And 2 hogs were the neighbors. That's a big gathering. Sounds like a heck of a fun gathering, though. I remember big family gatherings when we were kids, when a lot of my aunts and uncles all lived near the same area, and we had big family gatherings. It's always funny how when they rotated family gatherings, when it was our turn, it was always, it seemed to be our turn more often, and our turn was usually bigger than everybody else's. Smoked and smashed 45 heads of cauliflower. No mashed potatoes at your gatherings. But I like my mashed potatoes. Not all that healthy, but a little too much starch. But hey, people you don't even know that show up, oh boy. Yeah, I'm not a social person, so I would never do a big gathering. Pretty introverted. People always go, hey, when you come through town, let's go for coffee. I'm like, no, no, that's not. It's not me. I don't do coffee. Gotta be a pretty close friend for me to go out for a burger. That's asking for a lot. Smoked garlic, sour cream, bacon, and cheddar cheese. It tastes like loaded baked potatoes. Really? Hmm. Without all the starch. Ah, funny how things make you uncomfortable. I think I was always an introvert. I was always antisocial. And I think when I got punched in the head and had to get cracked my skull in 5 places by the choplifter, I think that made me even more introverted after that. I know the big thing that frustrated me after that is I used to have a really good memory, or I used to have a memory, not necessarily really good, but I used to have a memory, and it's frustrating knowing I used to be good at this, and now I'm not. It's like, brain, why don't you work the way you should? Your sister's on dialysis, yeah, so that's uh, too much starch for her. Yeah, yeah, that's my problem. My short-term memory is gone. My, if I didn't have Farmer Joe as my memory, I would have no memory at all. Yeah, you should remind me of my safety meeting, but that's half an hour away. You gonna fix my earring? Good, because I can't get to my earring with the headphones on. What's going on here? Oh, I seeded oilseed radish on that part of the field already. Okay, got it. That's a little funny. Okay, I saved a GPS for this so that I could match these lines up. Yes, Nathaniel, Cummins invented Jake brakes, and to this day, Cummins Jake brakes are, are still a lot better than any other. Like now that I'm running that PACCAR engine in that rental, um, I realize how much better the Cummins Jake brakes are. The PACCAR had the horsepower, has no problem. I have no problem going up the mountains just like my Cummins, but coming down, I have to come down at almost half the speed. Just so I don't burn out my brakes. It's like, this is crazy. So I'll seed oilseed radish on this part of the field and wait for this part to grow oilseed before seeding the whole field. Retarder, would that be on? Would that be like exhaust brake? I'm trying to think. There's so many different versions of engine brakes. Okay, so what if I go this? Field 8 east. Save. Can delete that one. So the one on the old cat was in the bell housing, drags the resistance on the drive line. I know my sister has just a Duramax diesel pickup, and that is exhaust. Puts the brakes on the exhaust. The engine brakes just turns your engine into a air compressor, basically. There we go. Case IH. Case IH is having a birthday. How old is Case IH? I know Case IH was. When did Case IH become Case IH? That's probably, I'm gonna say 95-ish. 1995, in there somewhere. When Case and International became one company. But I'm guessing if they're having a birthday, they're going to go back to whichever company is the oldest, Case or IH. I'm going to say that's when they began. I'm not sure which one is the older company. Is Case older or International older? Eventually I will own that field and I'll get to plow all the way. We'll just do that for now. Let's plow the grass between the two fields and then we'll seed some oilseed radish. Getting all of that. Looks like I am. Needs to quit raining. Well, here it needs to stop snowing. We don't get much rain here. There's a little dot of red in that corner there, but that I can get when I do that edge. We don't get much rain here. We get snow in the winter, but in the summer that's just dry desert. Storm of the century is like 10 minutes of real rainfall. Everybody freaks out. And the town's not designed for rain. When we get real rain, it floods everywhere. Doesn't take a lot of rain to have flooding. Especially since our water table is pretty high thanks to lakes on both sides of the town. So the snowstorm stayed north, but you're getting all the rain instead of the... Well, it's basically warm enough to get the moisture, but not the snow. Still a red line there? No, it's gone. Cool. Okay. Let's go do some seating. Fahrenheit? I don't know what Fahrenheit is. Farmer Joe? What's 40 Fahrenheit? Is that cold or hot? Four zero. Oh, so just above freezing. What is freezing in Fahrenheit? 32. Okay, so here it is 0.03 Celsius. So right at the freezing mark. So 32, maybe 33. But that's down in the valley. Up on the mountain it's minus. Very up in the mountains it's just cold enough to be this kind of weather to create a lot of snow. When it gets colder it stops snowing, but right now it's that perfect weather where it is just so much accumulation. 40 Fahrenheit is 4.4444444444444 Celsius. Infinity fours. All right, I'm going to park this, and I'll bring the seeder to the field. Got the safety meeting coming up pretty quick, so I think I'll save seating for later. No, just leave the tractor. Well, got all these machine shops. Why don't I park some stuff inside, huh? So you guys live 20 miles south of the snow belt. Yeah, I know when I was visiting Michigan, it was interesting that a few miles this direction, a few miles that direction can be a huge difference in how much snow an area gets, just because of the way geography and the Great Lakes and stuff. It's like a few miles can make a big difference. Well, it's a safety meeting over the phone, so I don't think I'll get lunch. When you're on a safety team in a trucking industry, it's all done over the phone. Do I have any safety issues to bring up? I can't think of a single one. I had a bunch last time, but Just be careful on the snowstorms, that's all. Watch for DEF leaks. Uh, I know. Fasten your tarps on the load. Uh, if I hadn't hurt her eye, I would have lunch. Darn it! She could have made lunch for me with if she had an eye. Uh, yes, you have to still keep this family friendly. That's why she doesn't have a microphone. She can't keep it family friendly. She says she may be quiet, but she has some things to say. I don't know if I want to hear the things she has to say as I go to the doghouse. Anyway, thanks for watching RGTV. Nathaniel, Dylan, can't think of who else joined us in chat here today. Hopefully you guys don't see me here tomorrow morning doing live stream. Hopefully I'm at work instead of here. Hardest thing for you to keep it PG? I don't. I'm fairly clean anyway. But I do try to. I think about it when I'm streaming. It's like, oh, I do say words that may not be appropriate. It's like they do come out. I do try. I do try to keep it clean. And the one thing I often get carried away and go into politics and stuff like that. I try not to go into that because I want this channel to be open for anyone. I don't care if you're left or right or middle, or I don't care who, what, religion, creed, anything. Just I want it to be comfortable for everybody. So try to keep out of those subjects. That's harder for me, but I try. So yes, keep your fingers crossed. I won't be here tomorrow. I'm going to be on the road driving, right? In a snowstorm. Yeah, working in bars and construction. Same with me, I'm a trucker. Trucker and mechanics. Yeah, there's definitely not a lot of PG there. So, thanks for watching. Hopefully I don't see you tomorrow.